Chapter 15 Jealousy, its first sprouts. For the first time in their lives, the Pandava princes tasted the life of luxury that was theirs by birthright. They were all youngsters, the Pandavas and the sons of Dhritarashtra. The palace gardens were filled with the voices of the boys at play, and Bhishma spent a few days of happiness listening to the voices of his grandsons. It was then that evil was born in the heart of Duryodhana. Bhima was a wild lad. He enjoyed teasing the other boys. He was the strongest of the lot. In any kind of fight, he would be the winner. In boxing, in wrestling, in any game of strength, he was able to defeat the sons of Dhritarashtra. If they were on top of a tree, his favorite game was to shake the tree by the roots and make the boys fall from the tree, like so many fruits. They resented this. Bhima was bubbling over with the energy, or rather the excess of energy. That was his inheritance from his father. Taking defeat and humiliation with a smiling face is a form of hypocrisy which we are able to develop as we grow older. It is entirely absent when we are young. A defeated child will always shout and storm at the winner. This is a characteristic which we all know. Being a sport, as the idiom goes, is not a natural reaction of the child. We develop it as we develop poise only when we grow older. The sons of Dhritarashtra were true to the nature, and they resented the supremacy of Bhima. Bhima too, in all fairness to his cousins, was a bit of a bully. He enjoyed teasing the other boys and humiliating them. It was all very childish, but the heart of Duryodhana, the young boy, was full of anger and sullen hatred and jealousy. He hated his cousin, Bhima, with all his little might and heart. The poor boy thought out ways and means of avenging this extreme humiliation. He was a spoiled child. Till now, he was the sole master of the entire palace. He was, to the sole heir to the affection of his grandfather, Bhishma. This intrusion of the cousins was something he did not bargain for. Here were rivals who were being petted by his beloved grandfather, who had been so very fond of him till now. He was wild with jealousy. Bhima was a rival who was getting the better of him in everything. Any other child under similar circumstances would have reacted in the same way. "I wish he were dead" is a common form of expression of an angry child. Duryodhana too wished that Bhima were dead. But here the parallel ceases. Ordinary children would have outgrown this stage, but Duryodhana was not an ordinary child. His father was selfish and avaricious. Duryodhana inherited these qualities. He thought far ahead. He did not want these cousins of his to prosper. He thought with the death of Bhima, his future as the king of the country would be reassured. It was here at this pliable stage that Shakuni entered the stage. Shakuni, the uncle of Duryodhana and his evil mentor. He fanned the spark of hatred in the heart of Duryodhana till it became an all-consuming flame. There was no place for no other feeling in the heart of the young prince except hatred for the Pandavas in general and for Bhima in particular. Sleep left his eyes and he was unhappy. Shakuni and Duryodhana hatched a plot to destroy Bhima. The young boys went to the Ganges. They spent the whole day in the river playing various games. It was a picnic. An evening came on. Bhima was very tired and hungry. Duryodhana took him into the tent and himself fed him one of the choicest of foods. Bhima was simple and without guile. He could never see through the actions of others. He ate his food not knowing that Duryodhana had mixed Kalakuta, the deadliest of poisons, with it. Tired out, young Duryodhana let young Bhima lay down and promptly Bhima fell into a deep sleep. The sleeping form of Bhima was bound up with strong creepers. Duryodhana then flung him into the waters of the Ganga, where there were placed many snakes spitting deadly poison. The return to the city was being planned. Yudhishthira looked everywhere for Bhima. He was nowhere to be seen. Yudhishthira thought that perhaps he had already reached the city. He went home in a hurry and asked his mother, "Mother, is Bhima here?" Kunti was surprised. "No, he has not come back," said the mother. Looking at the face of Yudhishthira, she was frightened. She told her son that, "Where is he?" Yudhishthira said he was nowhere to be seen. The four boys returned to the banks of the river and searched for their brother everywhere. "Bhima, Bhima, Bhima, Bhima." They called out to him. Only the echoes of their voices reached them. Their search was fruitless. They returned home and told their mother that he was not to be seen anywhere. Frightened, Kunti sent for Vidura and told him that Bhima was missing. They told him everything. Kunti said, "Duryodhana does not look on my son with love. I have a fear that he has killed my child when he was sleeping." Vidura comforted her. He said, "Don't worry, my dear sister. It is up to you to protect the other four. If Duryodhana knows that we suspect him, he will try to kill the others also. It has been said by the rishis that your sons will be long-lived. Do not show your feelings. I'm sure Bhima is safe. He will come back to you soon. Possess your heart and patience, and do not let Duryodhana know that you suspect him." After these words of comfort, Vidura went away. Bhima, who had been flung into the river with his limbs tied with the creepers, still slept on. Suddenly, he felt something stinging him. The snakes had begun their work. They all together, and one by one, began to sting him all over. A strange thing happened. The poison of the snakes proved to be the antidote for the terrible poison, which had been eaten by Bhima. He woke up and began to kill the snakes. Some of them were able to escape, and they went to the nether regions, and they reached the abode of Vasuki, their master. They said, "Here is a man, or perhaps he's the king of serpents. 1,000 serpents have stung him. It only woke him from a deep sleep. Now he has broken all bonds, and he is bent on killing all of us. It is but meet that you should see him." Vasuki was led by his myrmidons to the place where Bhima was. Vasuki recognized him to be Bhima, the son of Kunti, and embraced him. He told his minister, "Give him riches and jewels to his heart's content. I am very pleased with him." The minister said, "I'd like to make a suggestion. He is a prince. Jewels and riches will be of no use to him. Why should we not feed him with our elixir, which gives extra strength?" Vasuki was pleased with the suggestion of his minister. He said, "Bhima, face the east." And then he gave him a bowl full of elixir. Bhima quaffed it at a single draught. The entire assembly was amazed. Vasuki called for more and told Bhima, "Drink your fill. The more you drink, the stronger you will feel. Each bowl will give you the strength of 1,000 elephants." Bhima emptied 8 bowls of the divine elixir and went to sleep. Bhima went to sleep for 8 days. On the 8th day, he got up. He was fed with the divine food of the Naga king and was brought to the surface of the river. He found himself in the place where they had all camped. He returned home to his mother and brothers. He was greeted with tears of joy by all of them. Kunti could not contain herself. She was so happy. Yudhishthira was able to speak only after a few moments of stunned silence. He was very fond of Bhima, and this week was a week of torture for him. Bhima embraced all of them and pacified his mother, who was now weeping without any restraint. With all the 5 around him, Bhima told them about his strange experience. Vidura came and heard the story. He advised them to be careful about the hatred of Duryodhana. The Pandavas were shocked at the fact there was such a thing as hatred, and also in a heart so young. They were so good, they could not imagine that hatred could blind a man to such an extent. Duryodhana saw the hated Bhima alive and well. He was happy for the last few days, and now the sight of Bhima was a great shock. He was surprised at the miracle that had saved Bhima. He had been so sure of the success of his plot. Shakuni was equally amazed. Duryodhana's hatred was greater now. But he had to be quiet, because he knew that the Pandavas knew. With that, we come to the end of chapter 15. Jealousy, its first sprouts. From the Mahabharata by Kamala Subramanian. More like this later, here on Storytime with Rajesh. This is me, Rajesh, signing off. Till next time. Ciao.